Please raffle ticket. Raffle ticket right here, right here.
You all are so good. The lights go off, everyone gets quiet, and I feel very uncomfortable. Welcome to Daytona Beach 1 Million Cups. How's everybody doing? Good. We are celebrating today 11 years. Can you believe it? When I started here, I did not have gray hair, nor did Tom. Hey, we were young, man. Hey, welcome to Daytona Cinematique. Let's give them a nice round of applause for helping us be here every week. Great venue. We also want to thank Volusia Economic Development. We could not do it without their support. We'll be introducing Lou here in just a minute. Do we have any first-timers here for the very first time? Well, welcome. Welcome. You're here on a special day, celebrating 11 years. And normally we would have a speaker up here that would speak, and then we would give them feedback. That's what the Kauffman Foundation promotes. They promote entrepreneurs all throughout the country, allowing them to share their story and allow the crowd to give them feedback. So it's a wonderful opportunity to grow that community. So we do it here every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. It's usually about an hour. Today it's going to be a little extended. We've got some great speakers that are going to share their stories with us and their successes. So we're really excited about that. I do want to introduce our organizers because we couldn't do it without a team. So we have Charles over here. We have Val. We could not do it without Val. She makes us look good. We have Tom. We have Casey. We have Carlos. We have myself. And today we're going to be introducing our newest organizer, Jason. And wait until you see the standard operating and procedures book. It's amazing. We want to thank our sponsors for today, Aero Clinical Trials for the bagels, and it's called Fematron Systems USA. They're here in the house, by the way. Where's the owner? He's right here. Thank you for the breakfast. Obviously, the coffee from our friends here at Daytona Cinematique. So we're going to give a lot of things away today. We're going to start right now. Tom, let's go ahead and draw our first giveaway. We're going to go ahead and give away 3 items right now just to get the fun started. If you have not gotten a ticket, we'll get you one. Oh my goodness gracious. Whose joke was this?
I know, sorry.
All right. 67043 040. 040. Going once, going twice. 040. Someone's got that ticket in their pocket. Oh, Eddie Clark. Yeah. All right.
Free stores.
Free stores for you. Yes.
For wildlife tours.
All right. Very good. All right. Let's do one more. All right. I think the first 5 numbers are all the same. How about 022? You think that's you? All right. Put your glasses on. All right, Deborah. Very good. You can win a coffee mug for 1MC. You can never. And they're great for holding ice cream, by the way. All right. We're going to do one more. One more. All right, we are going 049. 049. All right, back there in the back. All right, we love giving stuff away, but we also like receiving stuff. And we receive money from Volusia County Economic Development Committee, and we're going to invite Lou Paris up here to share his story, share a little about that. Okay, Lou?
I was going to do a shameless pitch for what?
Well, we're going to launch something first before you start.
Okay, so I'll be quiet.
Sorry about that. It's only been 11 years. You're still a little unorganized.
Can we go back to that, please?
You know what? Lou can speak first. Well,
I got you.
There it is.
Oh, yes, the thumbnail got you in, yeah.
We just say that as a screensaver.
We wore it out testing it earlier.
Yeah.
It worked perfect.
Technical difficulties. That's right. But it's managed.
you broke it, Carlo.
Carlos broke it. Good one, Carlos. Chinese government and
Has entrepreneurs. Most people in my family, when I went out and went to do my own thing, my own business, the conversations are always the same with everybody you talk to that goes out and does their own thing. Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure? Think about your family. Think about all the benefits you're getting from somebody else. Think about, and as an entrepreneur, I answer the question with, oh, you think I should put more faith in someone else to provide for me and mine, as opposed to the steam and the gumption that I've got within me? And when you put it like that to someone, it's like, I clearly have more faith in me than you have in yourself.
There's a real kind of vibe or a real energy here that's about supporting entrepreneurs.
We have two presenters each week, two entrepreneurs. They come and tell about their journey. They each have about 6 minutes to present.
You're telling people what you're up to
and you're essentially getting feedback from them.
There's about 15 to 20 minutes of Q&A. All the questions that they asked us really got us thinking about new ways to think about our business.
It was good to just be able to get that feedback from the rest of the community.
So over the years, we've added more cities. It creates a great energy here to see what's happening across the country.
Last question for you, what can we as a community do for you?
The what can we as a community do to help you question is what really coalesces the community around every single presenter.
I really like the educational component of 1 Million Cups because it does create that open forum.
You're going to hear great ideas that will help you start thinking even more about what you want to do with your business.
What I've learned from other entrepreneurs is very, very valuable.
The cool thing about 1 Million Cups is that you're amongst other people like yourself. Just hearing someone talk about their startup, it just was magical to think, wow, there's other people out there like myself.
Sitting in a room with other people that have ideas too, it helps people to leave thinking, you know what, my idea is worth something, it's worth pursuing, it's worth going after it. Even if it looks like a challenge, I should still go out and try to do it.
If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what. I am an entrepreneur myself, and I'm hoping that quite a few of you are as well. Instead of doing what I wanted to say at the beginning was, instead of doing a plug for Volusia Economic Development or the Volusia Innovation Hub, I want to tell you a story about the genesis of this. You see, it starts like any other good story. It starts with drinks, with alcohol, right? And you see, about a little over 11 years ago, a group of us, there were 8 of us, used to get together and once a month have a drink together. We used to get all chip in for a nice bottle of bourbon, and we would sit, and we had 2 rules when we got together. First, you had to chip in, okay, to be able to buy the bottle, which was great, by the way, because you could afford things that otherwise on your own you would not be able to buy, and so that was great. The other rule is that you had to, when we got together, we had to talk about ideas. We couldn't talk about cars or girls, it had to be meaningful ideas. One evening, we were at the Marina Grande, you know, the 2 towers in Holly Hill. I forget what floor, but we were pretty high up there, looking out and sharing ideas. And one of us said, can you imagine if these conversations were taking place all over this town? How much better off we would be over the course of time? And we're like, yeah, that would actually be cool. And then someone else said, again, in the spirit of sharing ideas, what if we actually make this happen? We all looked like, what do you mean make this happen? What if we make a list of things that we could do to get the community to talk about ideas and make things happen? Yeah, let's do that. And in the proverbial, napkin, we wrote down ideas of things that we could do for the community. Ironically, 1 Million Cups was not by name written there on that list, but we did write down we should have a place where we could meet regularly and share ideas, like we are right now with our drinks. And so one of them, and Michael just reminded me that it was Art who said, we don't have to reinvent the wheel here. I think there's an organization out, more west that they can actually franchise their model and we can make it happen here. Cool. What are they called? 1 Million Cups. The heck is that? 1 million cups. Why? And the thought process is, if you have 1 million cups, if you drink 1 million cups of coffee with 1 million different people, your network would grow, and you would be able to connect with people that you need to be able to grow your business. And so that was how 1 Million Cups came to town. The group applied for permission to run the event, and we got it. And the starts were humble. It was, and I have to acknowledge here, I have Michael Zaharis and Jack White, who were part of that original group. And we call ourselves the doers, and we love the fact that we didn't have to ask permission to anyone to do anything. We simply said, if we like it within the group, we simply do it, okay? And that was great, like bringing 1 million cups. There was no one above us to vet the idea. And we started off on this street. Was it Marley's? Was that the first location? It was tiny. I mean, the amount of people that we have in the room would not have fit at all. Some of us presented there. I remember presenting there once. I've done it twice. And it's quite an experience. And think about that over the years, over the last 11 years, hundreds of entrepreneurs have stood on this stage or the other two stages prior to this and got feedback on their project, their idea, their business venture, and how much power there is behind all of you giving feedback to someone to help them grow. At the same time, people were able to connect. I have seen connections made here that have gone on to become businesses. And there's thousands, if not tens of thousands of you who have been inspired. I know that every time I sit here and I look at someone else pitching, I get ideas. My thing is always to take their ideas and tweak them and make them in some way mine. Like if you change this and you could do this in this other industry. So, it's very exciting. And I want to leave you with one thought, and that is that 1 million cups doesn't just happen here within these four walls. 1 million cups is something you have to carry with you everywhere you go, okay? So my ask to you is that when you leave this room, please engage people and share your ideas. Talk to people, hear their ideas. Let's encourage innovation. Let's normalize failure. It's a normal thing. And let me tell you this, I'm standing up here and what day is today? Today is Tuesday. End of last week, Friday, I killed a business that I had been working on for 10 years. And I was like, oh, it was gut-wrenching. But I said kill it in that form. I pivoted. I'm trying something different. Because, if you're an entrepreneur at heart, you have to always keep going, okay? But, I'm okay with that loss. I learned a lot in the process. And there are communities out there, like Boulder. Did you know that in Boulder, when your business fails, they throw a party for you? They do a wake for that business, and they'll ask you, what did you learn from this experience, and when is your next thing going to happen? What is it going to be? We need to normalize that here, because if there's more of us doing the sharing of ideas and growing businesses, imagine how amazing our community would be. So with that, thank you.
Thank you so much for your support. And it's love to see where his journey's going and where it's ended up. It's been fantastic. Helping Volusia County grow is fantastic. I've got Tom up here. We're going to draw 2 more gifts. So I'll go ahead and pull it. My eyes are focused on these small numbers, so we're good to go here. All right, last 3 digits, 035. 035. All right, right back there.
Two Sunset Tour tickets.
All right, very good. That's nice. That's good value right there. Especially this time of year. Beautiful. 037. 037.
Complimentary tickets here to Cinema Tea.
037? Okay, great. All right. All right, Tom. I'm handing the mic over to you. My responsibilities are finished.
Good morning, everybody. Man, look at this crowd. This is great, isn't it? Great. Lou talked about it, and one of the key foundations of 1 Million Cups is to have conversation and share ideas in a really supportive environment, and that's what we do here. And thanks to some of those folks who founded this group 11 years ago, that's why we're all here today sharing ideas. So I'm going to have an introduction here, a couple people. What we like to do is go back and do what we call refills. So we have folks that have done presentations here before, and we have them come back and say, hey, how's it going now? So we're going to catch up with 2 of them, and we're going to have a conversation up here with Casey. So let me give you some bios here of who we're going to be hearing from today. Michael Benedict is going to be one of our guests here. So Michael was born to be in advertising. His father, who is right here in the audience, along with us today. Come on, that guy deserves a round, right? He grew up in his father's agency. He eventually bought it in 2007. And he cut his teeth primarily in travel and tourism, but he's been in all the consumer industries and done a lot of B2B advertising, so he knows all of that. He's also been really active in the community. He's a co-founder of the Daytona Beach Young Professionals organization here. He's past president of the Marketing Communication Agency Network, and he was former president of the Daytona Beach Advertising Foundation. I am contractually obligated to say this, but as a proud graduate of the University of Florida, he's responsible for strategic thinking. So he got an entrepreneurial spirit also from his parents. And so one of the things he did was he started a restaurant group. Brilliant idea, right? Not an easy business to operate if you've been in that industry. But he has two longtime friends that he worked with. They opened up Jimmy Hula's. And he opened up Huey Magoo's. They currently have 4 locations of each brand that they operate now. The entrepreneur bug also bit him again to open a brewery in Port Orange. That was a few years back, and he called on some more longtime friends, and thus was Dunes Brewing open, right? Well, been there, great. So he's constantly coming up with ideas for his next business. He's going to be one of our speakers. I give you Michael Benedict. Where is he? Over in the corner. There he is. Our other presenter today. So life throws us curves as entrepreneurs, doesn't it? Never a straight line. So Jen, she had some unexpected curveballs come into life with a downturn in the housing industry. So it led her on her current 10-year journey. Faced with unemployment and a family to support, she took a seemingly small step, which was cleaning vacation rentals. What started as a necessity quickly became her passion. She started a company called Just Peachy Clean. We're familiar with that one. JPC today isn't about sparkling surfaces, it's about supporting other small businesses. She understands the challenge of entrepreneurs and small businesses firsthand because she's faced them herself over the last 10 years. Her story isn't about cleaning, but it's about resilience and empowerment. We all have to deal with the curves that they throw us as entrepreneurs. She's done it for the past 10 years. Looking ahead, she embraces the unknown with the same open-mindedness and zest that birthed Just Peachy Clean. Today she leads a team that shares her values and creates a positive impact on the business and community. Jen is the founder of Just Peachy Clean. She's the mother of 2 great boys and the wife of an Army veteran since 1999. And she is a Florida native. I give you Jen Rogers over here for Just Peachy Clean. One of our great organizers, and she is great at this gig we give her once a year. Our host is going to be Casey Williams. Oh, she's right in front of me here. Yeah. Casey is a mental health therapist. She's an entrepreneur, and she's a community connector who's been a part of 1MC Daytona Beach since October of 2022. She joined the organizer team in February of 23, so she's serving her 3rd year as our host for these refills that we have going on here. Outside of 1MC, she runs her own counseling and consulting practice, helping people reconnect with themselves and building more balanced, fulfilled lives that all of us as entrepreneurs need. So I give you Casey Williams. She's going to be giving us something that
Hello.
There you go. Cool.
And I'd also be remiss if I didn't introduce my service dog, Moki. This is his first debut on the 1MC stage, so. Sit. Lay down. Thank you. Good boy. Awesome. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and a special thanks to Michael and Jen for being here. I'm so incredibly excited to be interviewing you both today and to have you all share your experience and wisdom with our lovely communities. So we're going to jump right into it and start by taking a trip down memory lane. So with our anniversary today, I'm curious if you guys could share with us, how did you get originally connected to 1 Million Cups?
It probably was close to the 11 years. That's why I chose that picture. It was 11 years ago. So I'm sure I was kind of informed for the event. But Jack over here and another gentleman, Tyler LeCompte, and probably Lou and probably a number of other people invited me to one early on. And I think it was the first time we had something in this community that really was not a sanctioned-ish, I mean, like as a government-sanctioned type entrepreneur thing that was helpful, and I think it's blossomed a tremendous amount of other ones too, which has been phenomenal to see because those resources weren't really readily or at least present when I started my journey out. Well, sort of, started out at a really young age, but yeah, so there's a couple of friends that I had met in the area that invited me to one and been coming here and there ever since.
Wonderful. For you, Jill?
Yeah, for me, it was Sean. I run into him, I've known him for ages, and I had run into him years ago, and he had talked about it, and then he kept talking to me saying, you need to come present, you need to come present. And I'm like, oh, whatever, okay, I'm not gonna come present. He's like, no, they need to hear your story, they need to hear your story. And so finally I came to a couple of the meetings and then signed up to present, and so that's kind of been here ever since. I try to get here as much as possible.
No, that's wonderful, and I would always be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to my connection to 1MC, Mr. Andy Clark. After winning the Olive Ward Storage Entrepreneurship Grant, he said, the only thing I ask in return is that you check out 1MC. And I showed up here, didn't know a soul, but as soon as I walked in, of course, Valerie Wee was the first person I ran into, and I didn't meet a stranger in this room. So I appreciate you know, listening to Sean and his persistence in getting you here. That's fantastic.
Very persistent.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know that we just, in your bio, we talked a little bit, especially for you, Michael, about your family history and entrepreneurship. But I'm curious, what originally got you guys into entrepreneurship? Was it a moment? Was it a calling? Yeah, how did you get started in this journey?
Yeah, so for me, it was sheer desperation. We needed money, and like they said in my bio, my husband and I both worked in the construction industry for years and years. I was in the nonprofit sector. He was in the big machinery sector, and over the course of about a year and a half, I lost my job, and he went from 47 hours guaranteed every week down to 32, which is, I don't know if you know overtime, but that's a pretty big hit. And so we were just kind of left scrambling, and so he actually got a second job working nights. I ended up working like 4 different jobs. I was waiting tables, I was doing some sales, I was doing some bookkeeping, and then my neighbor owned a cleaning business, cleaning vacation rentals, and she asked if I wanted to start doing that, so I said, why not? We need food, right? We had a small 1-year-old at the time, and so I started cleaning with her, and slowly she got out of the residential side of cleaning because she wanted to manage the Airbnbs. And when she did that, there were a couple of her residential clients that she asked if I wanted to take, and I said sure, because I needed money. So I took those on, and this was, gosh, about 13 years ago now, and it just started to grow, and I started by word of mouth just getting more and more clients and more people wanting me, and slowly started dropping off some of the 4 jobs that I had. And at one point, my husband and I sat back and I said, listen, I can't take on any more cleaning clients with these other jobs. Are we going to go all in, and I'm going to start this business and I'm going to do it right? Or do I need to rely on the actual steady paycheck that comes with having a W-2 job, right? And he said, nope, let's go for it. Let's see what's going to happen. And I have to say that God has blessed our steps every single day. There has never been a time since starting this, which I know my story is unique, 13 years ago, that I've ever gone, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills this week, and I don't know how I'm going to make payroll. Fortunately, we have been blessed. We now have a team of 18 full-time cleaning technicians. We've got 3 office staff. We've got a beautiful office over on Bevel Road, and hopefully soon to be in the process of buying a building of our own. And it's very exciting, and so that's how I landed here. That's the very Cliff Notes version.
And you took a calculated risk and it paid off, and I appreciate that. Yeah, giving gratitude for the blessings and just really being mindful about each step. But it's been a beautiful journey.
It absolutely has. It hasn't been without its complications and tear-filled nights and things like that. I'm not going to say that it was easy at any point, but it's 100% been worth it.
And for you, Michael?
Yeah. Well, I was fortunate to grow up in an entrepreneurial-driven family. I have brothers that also try a lot of crazy things, but I think the earliest thing I did, is you watch your parents try things and you're like, well, I'm going to do something. I'm going to try to make some money. So I convinced one of my brothers to go out with our wagon, and we stole newspapers and then tried to resell them back to everybody. And you learn there's some things you shouldn't do. It was the idea of making money, but not on the foundations of the right ways to do it. And luckily I was corrected pretty well. And so a very good lesson to learn. Very young, but we didn't know any better. We just thought it'd be fun to do and make a little money. Horrible idea now. There's not even newspapers to do that anymore. So that's, but you know, it's, we've always, you know, there's so many ups and downs in business. I've failed, as Lou mentioned, you know, failure is such a key ingredient to success. I failed so many times, but I was fortunate. I got to be, most of my business adventures, I've taken what other people have done and made them my own. And so I have launched my own things as well. And I do want to make I want to say one thing about entrepreneurs. It's not just business. You know, creating ideas or societal changes or a charitable group or creating change in our lifestyle, to me is the same mindset. You know, creating a charity that can help raise money is just, and benefit a group, or changing how groups or things are done, to me is the entrepreneurial spirit. So I don't want it to ever be caveated into just a business-minded, because I've also created and helped or been a fortunate part of a creation of a lot of things that have lived way beyond myself, and that's just as satisfying as a successful business. So I don't know if that answers the question exactly or not.
No, absolutely. No, that's brilliant. And I definitely agree that, you know, even though oftentimes entrepreneurship is a solo venture, or it starts off that way, you know, I'm sure we all are a part of other communities, whether you're a W-2 employee, but to be able to create your own community, you know, something that serves, you know, your heart's desire, but also the ripple effect, the impact it has on the rest of the community, and to be able to foster that and bring people together, I think is one of the beautiful natural consequences of entrepreneurship. Yeah. So we obviously have two very different ways that we got involved in entrepreneurship, and yet even with the different beginnings, going through the journey of entrepreneurship, there's a lot that changes about a person. And so I'm curious, what is something that you guys feel has changed most for you since becoming a business owner?
Oh man, that's a great question. Some I probably don't want to admit that's changed. I feel I have to remind myself there's a lot of good people in the world. You know, as an entrepreneur, you do get let down a lot, and I take a lot of blame for that personally. That I didn't give good guidance, I didn't give good education, I didn't put them in the right place to be successful. But you do get let down, and I think that's a alignment of mission and core and communication and being very clear about that. So I've tried to be remind myself that just because a person didn't work out or a team wasn't successful, that doesn't mean they're bad. Doesn't mean they're ill, trying to get you. But sometimes, you know, when you lose a business over it, it's extremely stressful and hurtful. But I try to bring it back to myself. But there's times that I've probably said, my wife's here, so I probably said some choice words about some people I regret. But you know, at the end of the day, I try to remind myself, you know, we're all in this together. I mean, you know, an employee also has things they have to do. There's other things in their lives way more important probably than the business at hand. And just because it's my idea and I'm excited about it, you know, if I'm not communicating that well enough and I'm not inspiring well enough, you know, I ultimately am the one to blame. And so I try to look at that more. It's difficult some days though, but.
No, absolutely.
Trying to be open and candid here.
Sure, holding space for someone's humanity, but also the business professional side of things. Yeah, absolutely. That's a tall order for sure.
I absolutely love that, and I don't know if you've read the book Extreme Ownership, but basically everything you just said is in that book. If you've not read it, it's a great book, especially if you are a leader, because at the end of the day, it all comes down to you, and like you just said, you realize that sometimes maybe you didn't train the person correct, or it wasn't the right hire, or whatever. For me, if you had met me even 4 years ago, I'm a completely different person than I was. Very much a people pleaser, still a little bit of a people pleaser, but not near as much as I was, because you have to learn in this entrepreneurship journey and any business journey is that you can't please everybody, unfortunately. You can try your hardest, but we are all human, we're gonna make mistakes, and it's how you come back from those mistakes. It's how you handle those mistakes, and understanding that giving grace where grace is due, taking ownership, but becoming the leader that your team needs. You can't go in and shout at people and yell at people and expect them to give you their best. That's not how it works. People are not gonna wanna be invested in an owner or a boss who belittles them or makes them feel less than. My team is amazing, and I try to show them every day how much I appreciate them, because truly without them we wouldn't have the business that we have now. We try to take very good care of our team, so the leader that I was 4 years ago and the leader that I am today, I feel like is a night and day version.
Yeah, absolutely. I very much appreciate that too. You know, thinking about, as you were speaking, my therapist brain comes online, and I think about the importance of self-compassion. And our ability to have compassion for other people is only limited by our ability to have compassion for ourselves. And so being able to build that self-compassion, when you take that full ownership, you know, it's a double-edged sword. You own your failures, but you also get to own your successes. But also understanding that having compassion both for yourself and others is not at the expense of accountability. So it's a delicate dance to navigate that, both with yourselves, but also the people that you lead.
Yeah, it's very hard, especially when you grew up in a people-pleasing family.
Yes.
You want to make everybody happy, but some people are just not going to be happy, and you have to understand that.
Yeah, and accept that, and not shame or blame or think less of yourself, because that is an inevitability.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So both of you have mentioned in some facet or another, Michael, you said, yep, there's been some failures. Jen, your journey has not been easy. There's been blood, sweat, and tears poured into it. So, you know, obviously a big part of entrepreneurship, as we heard Carlos talk about in his intro video, is that there's a lot of risk involved, and you're betting on yourself, you're betting on your idea. And so I'm curious, as business owners, how do you guys handle uncertainty?
I wouldn't be able to do it without my husband. He is my rock. We've been married, gosh, this year will be 31 years, or 26 years, sorry. 30 years together. 30, because it's 30 years together, 26 years married. So it feels like forever. But he was my high school sweetheart. He's an Army veteran. I love him dearly, and he supports every single ridiculous whim that I ever come up with, you know, every idea. And when it fails, he's there to pick me up. When it is successful, he's there to celebrate. When I have those nights that I come home and I curse an employee because they've done something awful, he's the one to hold me and, you know, try not to leave and, you know, go take care of the person. But he is definitely, you have to have a support system 100%, and he is it for me. Along with the entrepreneurs that I've surrounded myself. I have several really close friends that are also entrepreneurs in the same industry that I'm in. I highly recommend becoming friends with people outside of your area in the same industry, because they know your struggles. I can call them up and say, oh my gosh, we had this client today, or oh my gosh, my employee did this, or said this, or whatever, and they talk me off the ledge. They walk me through how to handle it and move forward. So you have to have a support system. So for me, it's my husband and my best friends in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say, God bless you and your husband. That is an incredible accomplishment. And no, truly, and happy belated Veterans Day to him as well. But I really appreciate your understanding of having both your personal support and network, but also your professional network. That consultation piece is so critical to success. So,
well, yeah, because as much as he wants to support me, he doesn't fully get it. Like, he will support me in my personal side 100%, but he doesn't understand the business side. He doesn't understand the employee side. And if he were my HR person, we'd be sued a long time ago. But those friends that are in the industry, especially because they're in my industry, they understand it. They understand the ebbs and flows. They understand how to, you know, come at it with a cool head. They've probably gone through the exact same thing. So for them to be able to pour into me as well, you know, I've called them many times crying and unsure of what I was going to do. And they just talk me through it. And they help me come up with a plan and how to guide and coach my team.
That's wonderful. What about for you, Michael?
Well, I mean, my earlier comment about the pain of a bad or employee that didn't work out. The flip side of that is having an unbelievable team that does believe in where we're headed. And there's a number of them here today, so thank you guys for coming and supporting me. Having that, to be able to have those conversations where you're very open about where you're headed and having that support has been good. I'm also part of an organization that focuses on 3 pillars of personal growth, family growth, and business growth, and having mentors or helpers in each part of that has been extremely beneficial. And if you haven't found a mentor in anything you do, I highly recommend just find that person that you think is doing a great job and go ask them to be your mentor. And I'm even open to that too. Today, hopefully I don't get a ton of people because I have time. But if you can't give back, then you shouldn't take. And I do take a lot, and so I do try to give back a lot. But almost every single person I've asked, I had some people tell me no, which I'm okay. I hear no a lot. But asking for someone for advice and help, most people are happy to share that, what they've learned. And I would say even in the restaurant industry, which has been a very difficult business to learn, I'm still learning a lot. I'm only in it 30 years, so it's still learning, a very good learning curve. But even that, where it's such a competitive market, it's the people that share the most. I mean, because I feel like we all have that pain and issue, and it's probably true in a lot of businesses. But just asking for help or asking for advice or asking, hey, how did you do that? How did you overcome that? It's unbelievable amount of information that's shared and has been extremely helpful for me. So that's been one of the things that's helped a lot.
No, absolutely. And that give and take, being able to pass that on to more people. And I think one thing that stands out to me in what you just said is the abundance mindset versus scarcity mindset. And what you had said earlier, Michael, about, taking, or maybe it was Lou that had said that, taking ideas and putting your own twist on it and adding your own authenticity, and so you can share your blueprint, your experience, your wisdom with people, but to be able to copy and paste isn't really how that works, because we all have our own essence and spirit and mind and unique qualities. So yeah, being able to bounce ideas off of people and take what you need and put your own twist on it. But yes, the mentorship piece is so critical, and I appreciate your willingness to pay it forward as well. Yeah, absolutely. So in the realm, because obviously you own multiple businesses, and Jen, you've got just Peachy, but I know you do 1,000,001 other things as well. So I'm curious, for other people that are also serial entrepreneurs or balancing multiple projects, how do you guys discern where to invest your focus without losing, the sight of the mission, and without getting burnt out? How do you manage that?
Daily. So, it's, there's never going to be enough time in the day, and that's okay. Yeah, and once you come to that grips that you're just not going to get to it today, prioritization is important, and delegation is important, and then trust is important, and every step of the way. And look, I've got 100 problems. Today I'm going to have 100 things go wrong. 100, and that's, if you're in the restaurant business, you know that that's no lie. And when you have multiple restaurants and other businesses and properties you own, you're going to have so many issues go wrong. They're going to all upset you to some degree. You obviously take the biggest fire and try to fix it, but you also have to look at the biggest opportunities too. And so in all those problems, there's also, most of them are huge opportunities to turn it around, be successful. And so you have to look at each one. And it's hard to have a blueprint for that because I have no idea what my day is going to look like, except I know I'm going to be dealing with a lot of problems. And I guess I'm fortunate. I grew up in a scenario where, my dad's here and my mom too. They taught us how to just, not ignore adversity, but just move forward. Just take a step forward. Just take a step forward. And, and I guess I do have a lot of people tell me, I don't know how you do it, and I'm just thinking, there's no other way. I have to just do it. I have to move forward. I'm not going to let this sink me, because I want to be successful. I want to give back to my community. I want to be a part of my community. I want to be a good parent. I want to be a good spouse. I want to be a good friend. And I can't let all that negativity, and most of it's ill steered. I mean, it's not. If you look at restaurant reviews, which I don't ever anymore, absolutely ever, and I should, because there's good bits of wisdom in there.
Something to
But the
delegate.
amount of people that can hide behind a computer screen and the things they say to people are just, you question humanity to a degree. But they probably have something going on in their life that's horrible. And so they're just taking that and putting it somewhere else, and that's what we try to train our team. Like, they're not mad at you. Something's wrong. You just got to feel compassion for them and try to solve it as best you can. But you're not going to, someone said earlier, you're not going to make everybody happy. And that's okay. As long as you do it in the right guidance and hopefully so every day, I just look at it and go, okay, let's go.
No, and that's a really critical skill, that flexibility, adaptability, because you're right. What's the saying, man plans and God laughs? So even if you came up with a super structured blueprint, you've got to be able to pivot on a dime. So I appreciate you being more intention-based on that, rather than saying, well, here's the equation for, yeah, absolutely. And for you, Joe?
Yeah, I would say a lot of it falls along the same lines of what he was saying. I do have just Peachy Clean, but I also have a small consulting business that I've started, and we're in the process of buying a building, and then my husband and son have started their own thing, and so there are a lot of irons in the fire, and we just kind of take what's the most important at the moment. A big part of that, though, is being able to delegate to my team. I have an amazing office staff right now that, for just Peachy Clean, they handle the majority of the day-to-day, and I am truly the visionary in that group, and I've got to have the integrators, I've got to have the implementers in the office, and they are the ones that are taking care of it. But along what he was saying, you're going to have fires, you're going to have people, and not just behind a keyboard. We have people that call us and are just nasty over the phone, and it's a weird season that we're in that everybody is angry. And they're angry at nobody, really. And they call up, and our team is amazing at dealing with those types of interactions and still trying to bring the calm to the chaos. But understanding that what's happening in the world outside of your business is affecting everybody. And so that you may have a negative interaction with that one person this one time, but it truly could be because it was that last little straw on that stack that did it for them. You missed it. For us, we missed a fan. Oh my gosh, the world is ending because we missed your ceiling fan. And while it doesn't seem like a big deal to us because we deal with a million ceiling fans every day, that could have been the most important thing to them, and that was just it for the day. So having a team that can really step up and take ownership in their role and take care of the things that they need to take care of. There were many years that it was just me, and I was still cleaning and doing all of the admin and doing all of the things, and it was a lot to manage. I'm very thankful now that we've gotten to a place where we can have staff, but you've got to be able to delegate, you've got to be able to trust the people that you are delegating to. They have to have really solid role clarity, and they have to have autonomy in their role. You have to trust them to make certain decisions, giving them the decision-making framework that they need so that when you aren't in the office, they can continue to move forward and they aren't hung up and having you as the bottleneck.
No, absolutely. And that's a great segue to our next question, because one, I can just say I personally relate to the struggle of delegation, of releasing control, and then also having to lead somebody. That's a big part of releasing that control too. And so I'm curious, as your roles evolved from doers to leaders, what parts of entrepreneurship did you have to grieve, and what new parts of yourself did you have to grow into?
So for me, I'm going to be honest, I know a lot of people aren't going to believe me, but I loved the cleaning. I don't like cleaning my own house. I don't want to clean my own house. That's a whole different story because I get bogged down in all the garbage. But I loved going in and transforming spaces. I love being able to make people have this beautiful before and after. And I'm getting a little emotional about it. I miss that part of it. I apologize. I didn't transitioning to be the business owner and to becoming the CEO of my company, which was something I have never been trained for, I didn't go to school for, I didn't anticipate this ever being a part of my story, is so rewarding. It's so difficult. And even the people directly underneath you, and even the people working with you every day, they don't see it, because it is a very lonely road if you choose to become an entrepreneur. Even your closest friends, your staff, your spouse, whoever, it's lonely because they don't understand the struggles. And you can only talk to your friends about so much. You don't want to go to them with any sort of financial struggles you have, or you don't want to go with them if you've had a kick-ass month and you have the best revenue ever, because it seems like you're bragging. You don't want them to see your failures, because that's hard. And you don't want to talk about your employees, because then it's just like, well, why don't you fire them? Or why don't you just leave this and just go, get a real job or something like that? And sometimes when you have a business, especially in the cleaning industry, people tend to look at it as like not a real thing. And I feel like I'm constantly defending no, we have built something amazing. And I don't even think it was until earlier this year I was awarded in our industry, the coaching industry, it's a green jacket, and it's for being in the top 5% in the United States for the industry that we're in, business-wise. And I flew my husband and my kids and my mom and my dad out to watch me get the award, and I think that was finally when it kicked into my parents that I'm not just cleaning houses anymore, that I have created a business, that we have created something that's pretty special. I think I completely got off track, but
that was brilliant.
That's my answer.
Thanks, Jen.
Yeah, I was paying attention to Jen, so I forgot the question was how do you go from CEO to, or from worker to
doer to
CEO?
leader, and what did you have to grieve, and what did you have to grow into?
Well, luckily I had the person that was in front of me was ready to retire probably a few years before I even got there. So I had no choice, I had to take over. So I was thrust into it, but he was still there, luckily. I'm talking about my dad. And I got to, use him as a sounding board for everything. But we had different management styles. I mean, we totally wanted to run the company a little, run the same thought pattern of how we handle business, but how we handle employees and stuff was different. And it's still a test. I mean, it's always, I'm always learning. We have microcosms of experimentation we do in the business, whether it's internal with staffing or with clients and what we present, or what we try in restaurants, or what we try with management. I mean, it's, I guess the CEO part of that title is the final decision making, I guess, is the difference. But other than that, we give a tremendous amount, or I say this, I give a tremendous amount of decision making capabilities to almost everybody. I'd rather them fail. I clearly want to be successful, but if they don't fail, they don't ever learn. And I can't jump in and help. And we try to teach everybody that has people under them that same mentality. Let the team make a decision, support the decision, help guide them to the right decision. But then if they fail, pick them up and show them why and move forward. Because almost 99 out of 100 times it's not fatal. I mean, and I don't mean fatal as in death. I mean fatal as in it's going to kill the business. Sometimes it is, and that happens, and that's also a very cathartic experience. But I guess the CEO transition is making a final stay that you can't come back from. Because when the CEO makes that decision, that's it. I can't tell a client, hey, I made that decision yesterday, but I'm changing my mind. But if someone else made that decision, I can come and go, hey, we didn't have a chance to really vet that. Here's potentially what else we want to talk about. So that's probably the ultimate line, I guess, between working and CEO, in my opinion.
Sure, and that requires a heck of a lot of decisiveness and confidence to be able to say, yep, okay, this is the decision, and to follow through with it, and to own the consequences, good, bad, ugly, or otherwise. Yeah, absolutely. So shifting gears a little bit back to the sense of community, I'm curious, thinking about the upcoming generation of entrepreneurs, And before we get into that, I want to talk about the role that communities like 1 Million Cups play for entrepreneurs and other entrepreneurship-based organizations. You know, how has that been an asset to you guys? How has that influenced your growth? Obviously, we've talked about mentorship, and so I'm sure that that has existed in some facet, at least within 1 Million Cups. I know that to be true. But yeah, I'm curious how the community organizations has shaped you guys and influenced your journey.
Well, quite a bit, because even if there's not one existing, you know, you just get a couple group of friends to help start something. If you see a need for it, I mean, kind of how Lou illustrated how 1 Million Cups came about. I mean, there was a need, and the itch was too strong, and you had to scratch it, and you did it. So, I mean, I try to get here as much as it's on my calendar. Every Wednesday it pops up, 1 Million Cups. I can walk here. My office is right behind here on Palmetto. So, you know, every Wednesday I get the ding 30 minutes before, hey, 1 Million Cups. I'm not going to take it off my calendar because it's from here and I can make it. And Val knows that I try to make it as much as I can, but it's probably once every 2 months. I mean, it's not a ton. I wish it was more, but my calendar and my schedule don't allow that. But it's also other organizations, and not just organizations. I think conferences. To me, if you can afford it, and I also feel like you can't not afford it, but to go and learn. I'm always amazed of business owners or people that are in the business that don't go out and try to learn more. You know, that they think they understand. Well, I got it. I figured it out, and I'm just going to do this. And then I get it. Like business, it takes a lot out of you, and so having that free time, because it takes you away from either more business opportunities, your family, your friends, your own downtime. But to me, that learning, I mean, I guess I hope I'm always going to do it. I mean, it's been phenomenal for what I know. Now, do I put it all in practice properly? No, I've failed. I messed up a lot, and you know, I didn't think through things as best I should have. I get too excited sometimes. Like, I'm doing it, and then I'm like, oh crap, I didn't think that through at all. Sometimes it's expensive, and those really hurt. But again, on the flip side, it's extremely educational. So I think these organizations are phenomenal. I mean, it doesn't matter who's up here talking. It can spur an idea completely 180 from the conversation, just because of how that person or that company addressed the issue at hand. And that to me is always neat to see how the human mind works and how they break down a situation or an opportunity and make the best of it.
No, absolutely, I very much agree. And it's one of the many things that I love about 1 Million Cups is that, like you said, it doesn't matter who's up here. You know, I'm in a very specific industry, but somebody in a completely other world than I'm in, there's always something to be learned. And I think to your point about, you know, when we do engage in organizations or conferences, you're right, time is money, and we're choosing to give up our time where we could be actively making money in our business. And so I think that adds a level of sharpness to the people that do make that time to commit, that they're all looking to get something valuable out of this time spent together in community. And I think that really helps, you know, elevate the room. So I very much appreciate that, even if you can't make it all the time, you know, just having that on your calendar and having one MC just at the forefront of your mind, that in itself is also, you know, a useful reminder.
Yeah, and I'd be remiss to not thank all of you guys for coming out. This is, it's cold, which sucks. It's hard to get out of bed, especially earlier, and to give up whatever you're doing. So thank you all. I mean, that's a huge, this is a big audience. I love it. I mean, this is killer. So thank you guys, and I should have said that immediately, and I apologize for not doing that.
Yeah, I mean, ditto to everything that he said. I love this group because even sitting in the audience, and even if it's a brand new entrepreneur up here who has no idea what's going on, the advice that they get spurs on other ideas for me to think about. Because at the end of the day, business is business. Yes, we all have our niches. Yes, we all have, you know, things that are specific to our industry, but marketing is marketing. You know, numbers are numbers, bookkeeping is bookkeeping, at the end of the day, business is business. So when you come in here and you can get ideas and learn from other people, it makes it a little less scary when you have to do it on your own.
Absolutely, and like you said, to the new entrepreneurs, you know, supporting them in the early parts of their journey, which leads me to one of my last questions is, you know, what do you think keeps young, talented people from getting into entrepreneurship, and what are ways, like 1 Million Cups, what can we do as a community and as business owners to help encourage people and to remove barriers for that next generation?
I studied this question before today when we came here. And honestly, I feel like the biggest barrier for anybody, young, old, middle-aged, whatever it may be, is fear. I think it's fear of what people are going to think about them. It's fear of, you know, if I'm going to fail, and I'm going to be honest, you're going to fail. Like, it's going to happen. Like he said, failure is part of the journey, but it's how you get back up and you keep going. But I think at the end of the day, encouraging people, like, I mean, if it's a ridiculous idea, then maybe talking some sense into them. But, you know, encouraging them that, what is the worst that can happen? I had a friend that I was talking to a few days ago, and she has been talking about starting up something new. She's been a teacher for years, and she's like, I don't know, I just don't know if I can do it. I go, but what's the worst that can happen? There's not a lot of upfront starting costs, so just do it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But at least you know you tried, and you're not always going to have that thought in the back of your head of, what if I had done that? What if I had done that? What if it had been different? You could build something amazing, and you'd never know if you just sit there and you continue to go about your day-to-day and never even try.
Yeah, self-rejection before you even giving yourself a fair shake. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Jen nailed it. I mean, I was thinking fear. Fear is such a motivational and demotivational item. You know, I always wonder, you know, does everybody have that entrepreneurial mindset? You know, and I talked to a lot of people about it, and I have talked to people that said, I have no interest ever. And I wonder if it's fear or not, or if I wonder that the safety and security of a paycheck, because who knows where they came from. They might have came from a family that was chasing paychecks and didn't have this or that or whatever over them. And so I don't question them, but I mean, if someone has a good idea or an idea that's worth exploring, it's almost free to get it to be able to birth that idea. I mean, it's almost free. It's very few things. You know, if you said, I want to build the Empire State Building, you don't start at the Empire State Building. You start by renting a space and creating an idea or whatever the proper pathway is. And so you don't just start massive. You build up to that concept. So I don't know why some people don't. I don't know if it truly is a mindset, and there's just people that are never going to want to do that. I know plenty of friends that are very happy working for companies, and they love it, and they think the world of it. And I think I have some people that work for me that like at least like it and enjoy it. And
well, that's great, because we need those people too.
Yeah.
We wouldn't.
It's a great
not
mix.
everybody can
I mean, it
be
is a
an
great
entrepreneur.
mix, and give them the opportunity to get whatever they need out of life as well. So I don't really know. I mean, my only guess would be fear, because fear is so crippling. You know, but it really is. Once you push through, it's never as bad as you thought. Not even close.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and that fear piece, when I think about the analogy of, like, if you were to look at Mount Everest and you see your hero or your mentor at the top of Mount Everest, you're like, wow, okay, so I know it's possible, but all I see are the infinite steps that it's going to take to get there. And so one thing I've learned both as an entrepreneur and as a therapist is to really get good at the skill of slicing back the goal and not discounting that any step towards progress is still a step towards progress. And it's worth celebrating. And when you can celebrate just going on to Sunbiz and registering your business, step one, check, congratulations. That is not to be undervalued or under-celebrated. And when you can celebrate those little wins, you will be able to really relish and embrace the big wins. So yeah, just get started and focus on the next step in front of you. Yeah, thanks guys. And so I know we're at time, but I selfishly have to ask my favorite sort of sprinkled in therapeutic question is, if you guys could go back to your younger selves from the beginning of your entrepreneurship journey, what piece of advice would you give to that version of you?
I'd invest in Bitcoin. I would have had no failures except for a lot of worry in the beginning. Again, just push myself, don't give up. Don't let fear be the deciding factor of what you're trying to accomplish. Talk to more people. I grew up in an environment where I didn't have many barriers. I was open to explore, open to put, from a very, you heard, I stole newspapers and sold them and stuff, and so even that was a huge mistake, but I learned from it, and so I don't know what advice I'd give myself. Maybe be kinder, be nicer. I'm sure I could always have that in my life.
What about a piece of gratitude? What could you say thank you to that version of yourself?
That's a good question.
Think about that. I'm gonna let Jen answer.
Yeah, so my advice to my younger self would have been, one, start it sooner, but do it scared. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, and the older that I get, and I know that I look so young, the older that I get, the more that I realize it's all gonna happen the way it's supposed to, good, bad, or indifferent. It is all gonna happen the way it's supposed to. Things have to happen the way they do for you to get to where you are. So just do it scared. Just jump in. And the other piece of advice, really quickly, I would have given myself is invest in coaching sooner. You don't understand the value of a coach. Specifically in your industry, it has been amazing and it's been transformational for my business. I joined a coaching program specific to my industry about 4 years ago, and since then the business has grown over 500%, and it is truly a testament to the coaching program that I joined. So do it scared, join a coaching program.
I guess I'd thank myself for staying here. I do, and I'm very lucky. I've got a great group of friends, great group of family. Met my wife here, who's also born and raised here, and it's just I love living here. And it has become more and more every year more open to the entrepreneurial and business. But we have everything we ever want here. So I'm happy, because I've had multiple opportunities to sell my business and move to where that company was located and be a part of theirs. And pretty exciting, at the time, exciting cities and exciting things, and I'm glad I never did that. I'm really happy I just stayed here.
Well, on behalf of 1 Million Cups and our Daytona Beach and greater Volusia County communities, I just want to say thank you both for choosing to be here and to be such pillars in our local entrepreneurship ecosystem. We are so grateful to have CEOs, founders, owners, entrepreneurs like you guys giving back to the community and helping our lovely area be as wonderful and successful as possible. So with that being said, let's give our lovely guests a round of applause. Wonderful. So we're gonna, you guys go take your seats, and we're going to shift gears. I'm going to be introducing our fearless leader, Miss Valerie Wee. Yeah, you need to be on the stage for this, for sure. So Valerie is a creative and community leader with more than 16 years of experience in digital marketing, web design, and brand development. She currently serves as the Director of Marketing and Strategic Communications at Femitron Systems USA, a leading aerospace and cube satellite company based here in Daytona Beach. Her award-winning work in interactive digital learning was recognized by the U.S. Department of Labor, earning her the Region 11 Volusia Flagler Workforce Development Lighthouse Award. Wow, what a mouthful, but incredible. And this was earned for her innovation in tech-based learning. Having lived and worked across Singapore, Malaysia, and the Philippines, Valerie brings a global perspective to everything she does. She also serves on the board of Volusia Manufacturers Association and leads our incredible local chapter of 1 Million Cups here in Daytona Beach. So without further ado, help me welcome our fearless leader, Valerie Wee.
Thank you for that standing ovation, Misty, and wonderful intro. I definitely made you say that, so gosh, right? So, happy birthday, 1 Million Cups, and thank you for being here. I've had the pleasure I've definitely had the pleasure of serving this community for over 3 years. Everybody had to put up with me, and they know that for a fact. So I love this segment, the next segment. I'd like to share a couple of numbers, Kaufman numbers to you. So all throughout the nation, we have served over 24,130 entrepreneurs, and that's just this year alone. And there are 120 1 Million Cups all over the country. You got from Alaska, California, Colorado, Indiana, Georgia, New York, Pennsylvania. Yes, I'm going to say them all. Texas, Washington, Texas. And yes, more than 1 million coffees served. And what's even more amazing, here in the Sunshine State, there are 10 wonderful chapters. And one is up and coming. West Volusia in DeBerry is going to launch first Wednesday of January. So whoever's living in that area definitely can check that chapter out. So I'm definitely proud of all these. So this is our Daytona Beach number. Since 2014, there are over 1,500 entrepreneurs that are presented on stage. And we have today 2,400 attendees each year. Heard that, Lou? And also, thank you, Cinemati. You have served over 26,400 coffees. So thank you so much. So before we move forward, let's take a moment to look back at 11 years of community and entrepreneurship. Oh, give me a minute. Pivoting. Just testing you.
That's why we need you now.
So I couldn't really have done all these amazing years without all of our volunteer organizers. I just want to call them up on stage. We have Tom Jordan, Casey Williams, Sean Getford, District 3 Board and City Councilor. I always wanted to say that. Charlie Howell and Carlos Sodevilla. Guys, I know that you guys have been please give them one more warm round of applause, including me. All right, we now have a special inductions going on. We have a new organizer, which is Jason Frederick. Would you come and join us, please? Jason, there's going to be, Casey will read you this big binder that you you have to review. There we go. Casey, you got this. This is for you.
So, Jason, welcome to our chapter of 1 Million Cups organizer team. And we are going to present you with this 1 Million Cups Super Serious Organizer Handbook. A completely non-overwhelming guide to mastering the art of coffee and conversation, and definitely not a 500-page manual. Warning, this binder may or may not contain ancient 1MC secrets, a treasure map to the perfect coffee cup, and at least 3 inside jokes that you soon will be a part of. So, thank you for volunteering as tribute.
So now, 11 years wouldn't be possible for those who came, without those who came before us. To our past organizers, supporters, sponsors, you definitely laid the foundation that we continue to build on every week. Please come up and join us for a quick photo. I definitely want to honor everybody. Come on. Jack, come on. Lou, Michael Zaharias, Michelle James. And whoever's names on the stage, please just come up and Latoya is here! Oh my gosh! Thank you so much. Latoya Carey, everybody. And can somebody please take a beautiful photo?
Who's taking the picture? I'm totally sunk in. This is all I got.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, one more, sorry.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. We continue our celebration by honoring the entrepreneurs who keep this community thriving. Please welcome Charlie Howell. Charlie and I go way back. In my past life, I've lived a corporate life before becoming a full-blown entrepreneur. What Michael has said truly resonated with me. Charlie has been my mentor. I think he's sick of me for like over 10 years now. But he is, I call him a friend. And he's like a family to me. Thank you, Charlie, for all those years of mentoring me. And, you know, like, I'm always like, Charlie, help me with this. So, yeah, he's truly been a good friend to me for all these years. Thank you so much. Charlie will now introduce our business honorees.
Imagine being her boss. So this is a point in time when we want to honor those of you that come every week and that promote 1 Million Cups Daytona Beach to the community. Our first award is a Heart of Community Award. The Heart of Community Award goes to someone who has truly been here since the beginning. He's a serial entrepreneur, an author, a professor, and yes, a 1 Million Cups organizer himself. Today, he continues to pour back into our community as a Volusia County Economic Development Director and helping local entrepreneurs and innovators and small business owners thrive in Volusia County. The Heart of Community Award goes to Lou Paris. You can keep going with everyone?
Yes.
Then you got to stand here for a while.
Yeah, next to you. Well, good company.
Our Legacy Steward Award goes to a familiar face and a creative force in our community. He's been a social media guru, a travel influencer, a serial entrepreneur, and an AI engineer. I did not know that until now. He also serves as marketing director of All Aboard Storage and has been an active 1 Million Cups community builder for the last 6 years. The Legacy Steward Award goes to Brandon with. We have a Community Catalyst Award. Our Community Catalyst celebrates someone who's quietly transforming how local businesses grow. She's been the owner of Pixie Dust Accounting, a certified public accountant, and a fractional CFO. I had to look up what that was.
Part-time CFO.
Yeah. Who brings her expertise and warmth to every 1 Million Cups meeting. Our Community Catalyst Award goes to Nathalia Smith. We have another Legacy Steward Award. This Legacy Steward embodies what long-term support really looks like. He's this award recipient is a president of Cinematique and comes from a family of entrepreneurs. He and his family own rental properties and has been supporting our 1 Million Cups organizers and the community for a number of years. Thank you for your support in serving the community. Hot coffee Wednesday after Wednesday. This is a Legacy Steward Award to Jed Benedict. Next, we have a 1MC Spirit and Digital Builder. Our 1MC Spirit and Digital Builder Award goes to someone who's... She left. That's okay. Goes to someone whose enthusiasm shines both online and in person. She serves as a board member of the Daytona Beach Chamber, has won this award for 2 years in a row. She's one of our most consistent supporters, sharing our posts, celebrating our presenters, reminding the community of why 1 Million Cups matters. And sometimes when I'm substituting for Val back there and I forget to take a picture, I rip hers off the internet. She does such a good job. Our 1MC Spirit and Digital Builder Award goes to Terry Kane Tyler. Next, we have an Emerging Leadership Award. Our Emerging Leadership Award goes to someone who's quickly become part of the 1MC family. He's a mortgage loan originator, an IBEW journeyman, a proud Rotarian. Whether online or in person, he brings enthusiasm and energy and authenticity to every event. He represents our next generation of leaders who lead not by status, but by example. And last week I found out he was a Daytona Beach native. Our Emerging Leadership Award goes to Preston Combs. Our next Emerging Leadership honoree is someone who truly shows up. She's a real estate agent, over $500,000 in listings. She's been showing up consistently at every 1 Million Cups meeting. Her commitment, participation, and community spirit have made her a standout example of leadership in action. Our Emerging Leadership Award goes to Andrea Silva. Finally, we have our Pillar of Support Award. This goes to someone whose guidance and partnership have been invaluable. Through his work with the Volusia County Economic Development Team, he has been there with us every step of the way, supporting our meetings, our presenters, our mission. His leadership reminds us that collaboration between local government and entrepreneurs makes our ecosystem stronger. Our Pillar of Support Award goes to Ricardi Alex.
I got it, Val.
Oh, nice. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. One more. Guys. 1, 2, 3. It's awesome. Thanks. Yes.
Thank you all for your continued support. Next, I want to introduce you to one of our organizers. He's been a serial entrepreneur, restaurateur. director of a nonprofit association. Every time I look on Facebook, I find him in a picture somewhere with people that I know and I never knew that he knew. He just seems to be in the community everywhere. Carlos Sullivan.
Okay, that's the best show I've seen in a while. So thank you, Val, for organizing all this, and all of you, because without all of you, we just wouldn't have 1 million cups. We'd just be staring at ourselves. So it's you, the community, that comes out and supports us. And by the way, great head count today. We're over 75 people. So that is how we receive our Okay, so at this point, we're going to draw for prizes, and you might win this brand new car. Who's wrong? Read the numbers.
Me reading numbers now. Oh God, these are small now. All right, last 3 digits is 050. You got a winner back there? What do we give away, man?
050, right?
Sure.
This is just Peachy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next one, 027.
That's yours.
Okay, let's check under our seats. There should be a ticket. We have 3 tickets in the audience. Check under your seat and see if you have a ticket stuck to the bottom of your seat. That's it. Over here. And look at that. Awesome, awesome. You guys are cleaning up. Just kidding. Okay, so what do we have for? Come on down!
Ooh, Mr. Market.
She comes on this side.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't get Mr. Market. Oh, wait, not the gift cards too, because.
Give her a gift card.
Yeah, that's why. You have a different gift.
Technical difficulties. Please bear with us for 1 moment.
One MC swag. There you go.
All right, let's
There you go.
not the Mr. Market and then not the usual.
Yep. All right. Oh, we got gift cards now. 044.
$100 each.
There we go. From where? Where are the gift cards from?
This is from Michael Benedict.
Michael Benedict donated the gift card. We got another one for Jimmy Hula's 0. That's already read that one. 043.
Yes, 043.
I'll pass it on to someone else.
No, I'm pulling
I
up.
love the review.
It's going back. All right, go eat at Jimmy Hula's.
Okay.
With those guys. Open up some.
Huey the Goose. Got a gift card for Huey the Goose and also from Michael Benedict.
The numbers are like in sequence.
Yeah, something's wrong here. 045.
Wow.
045.
The person left.
045. Last call.
This
All
person
right.
Present to win.
031 for Huey the Goose gift card.
Yay!
There we go.
Congratulations. And then Mr. Market.
Mr. Market gave Mr. Market
Swag
from
and
Mr.
game. Swag and game.
Mr. White. We got 032. Call it in order. 032. Congratulations to Mr. Market.
There's a bag and there's a book and there's a stock market.
And $1 million in it too.
And then 2 t-shirts.
2 more t-shirts. All right, 2 t-shirts. Let's call my number off, please. 063. 063. Coming in the back. Come on out. Get this 1MC limited edition t-shirt. And the next one, 048. 048, right there. All right, come on out. Get this 1MC limited edition t-shirt. All right, we're good. Mr. Carlos, we're going to turn it over to him.
Okay, to close up our 1 million cups in traditional 1MC fashion here in Daytona Beach, this is time for our mandatory family photo. Please, all of you that are out here, join us up on stage. We're all gonna get together and sing Kumbaya.
All right. I was gonna say, everyone wants to stay put because that's gonna be a total tight squeeze. What we're gonna do is have everyone, you can stand up if you'd like, and then we're gonna take a selfie from the stage. Yeah, okay?
We're gonna do mandatory selfies, so do not get out. Nobody move unless I say so. All right, we're gonna do it right here.
We're gonna turn around, we're gonna face you guys, and we're gonna do a selfie here.
Ready? Everybody stand up and try to like, all right. So yeah, Andrea has a selfie stick. Andrea, work it.
Listen, always emergencies. There we go. Okay, all right. And then do like the timer. Yep, because you can't reach it. It does, but it's kind of. There we are. Okay, guys.
All right. Countdown 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right.
Thank you so much. There's still breakfast there. Please take some home and then grab coffee and then enjoy it. Happy birthday, 1 million cups.
Thank you very much.
How you doing, sir? Good to meet you. What's the name? Awesome.
I help finance too.
What's the county? You go through everything, huh? You got the money, you got the contract. Okay. And you know what you're doing. And it's working well.
You gotta fake it till you make it.
You gotta make something happen.
Yeah, I do a lot of California. Well, my business partner is high school 71. I've been out here. There he is. Cap on. He comes all the time. Where you from? We're in a Michigan LLC and we're in a Michigan development. Are you not sure? Are you missionary or are you mercenary? I retired 30 years.
No questions, no admissions, no kaboom.
Good luck with it.